Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good evening. My name is Maulana Anwar Sidik, and I'm going to tell you a story about the legend of Mount Tangkuban Perahu. So here we go to the story. Long ago, a beautiful and intelligent woman named Dayang Sumbi lived in a small village in West Java. She was renowned for her skill in weaving and beauty. But despite her many suitors, she lived alone in a hut deep in the forest. She spent her days weaving clothes, living a peaceful and solitary life. One day, as she was weaving, her loom shuttle tool slipped from her hand and fell to the ground. Frustrated, Dayang Sumbi swore, "Whoever retrieves my shuttle, I shall marry." To her surprise, it was not a human who appeared, but her faithful dog, Tumang. Dayang Sumbi didn't know what Tumang was no ordinary dog. He was a cursed prince with magical powers. Bound by her promise, Dayang Sumbi married Tumang. Though it was an unusual union, their life together was peaceful, and they were blessed with a son named Sangkuriang. Sangkuriang grew up to be a strong and curious boy. However, he never knew the truth about his father's identity, as Dayang Sunbi had kept it in a secret. Tumang, although a dog in appearance, was a loving and a loyal companion to Sangkuriang. One day, Dayang Sumbi asked Sangkuriang to go hunting and pack deer for their meal. Tumang accompanied him on this quest. However, after hours of searching, Sangkuriang failed to find any deer. Frustrated and desperate, he decided to kill Tumang, believing he could bring the meat home as a substitute. With a heavy heart, he returned to his mother and presented the meat to her, pretending it was a deer. When Dayang Sumbi learned the truth, she was horrified and furious. In her grief, she struck Sangkuriang on the head with a rice paddle, leaving a scar on his forehead. She then banished him from their home. Broken-hearted, Sangkuriang left the village and wandered. Years passed, and Sangkuriang grew into a handsome and powerful man. He traveled far and wide, mastering many skills, including supernatural abilities. Eventually, he returned to his homeland, though he didn't recognize it. One day, Sangkuriang met a beautiful woman while exploring the area. Unbeknownst to him, she was his mother, Dayang Sumbi, who had been granted eternal youth by the gods for her devotion. The two were immediately drawn to each other, and Sangkuriang fell deeply in love with her. He proposed marriage, and Dayang Sumbi, unaware at first of his identity, agreed to marry. As the wedding preparations began, Dayang Sumbi noticed the scar on the Sangkuriang's forehead and realized the shocking truth. This man was her son. Devastated and horrified, she knew she could not marry him. However, fearing his wrath if she outright refused, she devised a plan to stop the wedding. Dayang Sumbi set an impossible condition for the marriage. If you wish to marry me, you must build a large boat and a dam to create a lake. You must complete these tasks in a single night before the sun rises. Sangkuriang confident in his supernatural powers, accepted the challenge. That night, he summoned spirits and began his work. The dam was nearly complete, and the boat was taking shape. Seeing this, Dayang Sumbi grew anxious. She prayed to the gods for help, asking them to prevent the marriage. As dawn approached, the gods answered her prayer. They caused the first rays of sunlight to appear earlier than usual, tricking the spirits into abandoning their works. Furious at his failure, Sangkuriang kicked the unfinished boat with all his strength. The boat flipped over and landed upside down, becoming the mountain known today as Mount Tangkuban Perahu, which resembles an overturned boat. The dam broke, and the water flooded the valley, creating a lake. Heartbroken and defeated, Sangkuriang disappeared into the forest, leaving his dream of marrying Dayang Sumbi left behind. She continued to live solitarily and to maintain and late became lasting reminders of their tragic story. That's the end of the story of the legend of Mount Tangkuban Perahu. Okay, thank you very much for listening and watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.